Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, the father of the ultralight flies at AirVenture, the CozyJet will participate in AirVenture, the California Legislature authors laws to regulate UAVs, I'm Bree Cross. It is July 17th, 2015, and this is Airborne Unlimited. Aviation history is not just the past, we are still living in it, and a John K. Moody is proof of that. Moody is commonly credited as being the father of ultralights. We often look back at ultralights as occurring in a certain period of time of aviation history, yet the guy who brought it about is not only still vertical, he's still flying. EAA reports that Oshkosh 2015 will help commemorate 40 years since his first flights in the Icarus-two powered hang glider in 1975. It's just one of the great attractions this year for the ultralights area at EAA AirVenture, the Fun Fly Zone located at the far south end of the flight line at Whitman Regional Airport. Moody will be featured in the Wednesday night Airshow flying his weight shift Easy Riser, and he will also fly an Easy Riser and American Aero-Lights Eagle during the morning and evening flying periods on the ultralight area's grass strip. On Saturday, July 25th, Moody will reflect on 40 years of ultralights at his presentation in the Ultralight Forum tent. The airplane is called a Cozy, and this one happens to be jet-powered, so why not call it the CozyJet? The one-of-a-kind jet-powered Cozy aircraft, featured in the November 2005 edition of Sport Aviation, was recently acquired by Ryszard Zadow, and the new owner has informed EAA he intends to fly the airplane to AirVenture. The unique CozyJet, named Kerosene Dreams, is powered by a modified 600-pound thrust General Electric T58 jet engine. And that's not all Zadow had to report. On July 4th, he announced he is creating the non-profit Rutan Aircraft Flying Museum, aimed at promoting and preserving Burt Rutan's popular home-built aircraft designs, including the Very Vigans, Very Ease, Long Ease, Quickie, Defiant, and Solitaire. Calling the CozyJet the centerpiece of this new effort, Zadow hopes that Kerosene Dreams helps attract attention to the museum's mission and their planned crowdfunding effort. After the break, California writes UAV operating law.
The KSN 770 is an affordable, WAS-enabled integrated MFD with a flexible hybrid user interface from Bendix King. Get your fingers on the 770's perfect blend of touchscreen and hard buttons. Easily control your GPS navigation, Navcom, weather, traffic, and terrain in any condition. For more information, go to bendixking.com.
Redbird is quickly becoming the industry standard for flight training. Since Redbird introduced its revolutionary FMX in 2007, colleges, universities, and flight training operations around the world have integrated Redbird products into their curriculum. It's time to discover what Redbird can do for you. Join the migration.
AML's patent-pending wireless induction charging system eliminates confusion over those charging cables, cuts down cockpit cable clutter, and allows you and your passengers to fly cordless and eliminate the cable nightmare. www.aviationmodificationleaders.com.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Welcome back. If you would like to be a supporter of Airborne Unlimited, send an email to jim@aero-news.net. As the FAA continues to be stuck in its own bureaucratic quagmire regarding UAV operation regulations, we have another example of airspace regulations being proposed with no regard to the fact that airspace is under control of the federal government. A bill that is working its way through California Legislature would create a no-fly zone for UAVs from the ground up to 350 feet over any private property in the state. The bill basically states that no person may operate an unmanned aircraft system at less than 350 feet above the ground within the airspace overlaying the real property without the express permission of the person or entity with the legal authority to grant access. The organization, AUVSI, says the bill would essentially all but ban the operation of any UAV at low altitudes and points out that it would be nearly impossible to manage from an operational perspective. It appears that model aircraft operation would also be affected by this bill. We'll keep you posted on the final outcome of this and what the FAA reaction to it will be. It's Friday, and that means it is time for ANN CEO and Editor-in-Chief Jim Campbell to check in with his weekly barnstorming commentary. This week, Jim talks about the big plans for Oshkosh, but he also says a few words about his business child, which is the Aero-News network. As Jim talks about ANN in the beginning, today, and the future, you'll see a fantastic video put together by our own video journalist, Nathan Cremasino. Here is this week's barnstorming.
Way back in the dark ages of the internet, like the 1990s, the Aero-News network was the first aviation news organization to post news and updates every day, live from the grounds of Whitman Field in the holy land of Oshkosh to the then nascent World Wide Web. This was long before anyone else could even spell World Wide Web, and well before any true competition arose to mimic our efforts to cover the greatest air show on or over Earth. Since then, we've done something, actually more than a few somethings, amazing every year to raise the bar in terms of covering this show in new, exciting, and intriguing ways. And this year, we have a huge update to share with you, one of our best yet. And when we say big, we mean it. The Aero-News Network's 20 years of worldwide aviation and aerospace news efforts comprise over 250,000 stories, over 1 million images, over 7,000 aero podcasts, some 2,500 aero-TV programs, 500 episodes of Airborne, 22,000 tweets, and so much more. It's simply a record of performance unequaled by any other aviation news service, and we're hardly standing still. There's far more to come. The new AirVenture innovation preview effort, the first of many of its kind, is designed to do three things very well: showcase the most innovative aspects of the aviation industry, put AirVenture and Oshkosh at the forefront of the world's aero attention, and set the standard in terms of marketing, PR, and outreach efforts that aviation must undertake if it's not only going to stop the downward slide toward obsolescence, but instead reverse it. And keep in mind that ANN and Aero-TV will still be hosting exciting new Airborne daily wrap-ups at the end of the primary days of the show. And more important than that, this is the first Oshkosh year that ANN's exciting, game-changing Airborne partnership initiative will have a chance to strut its stuff. With the first few dozen of over 100 committed aero industry association and organization partners contributing to the exposure, outreach, insight, and excitement that ANN, Aero-TV, and Airborne bring to the Oshkosh experience. This all adds up to better exposure, better coverage, and better distribution than ever before. Each of our Airborne Unlimited program segments will be uploaded for ready viewing and or downloading to ANN's own Aero-TV site, YouTube, Vimeo, and several other major online syndication partners. It'll be fun, exciting, fast-paced, interesting, and totally devoted to covering the world of Oshkosh with the same innovative professionalism that we brought to the mix when we were the first to bring you daily online reports, or when we started bringing you the first daily audio programming from Oshkosh, or when we started bringing you the first daily video programming, and so many other firsts, each of which is now mimicked, and usually not all that well, by other organizations following our lead. And now, with an unparalleled record of aviation news service featuring some of the best aviation journalists on the planet, we invite you to be a part of the Aero-News, Aero-TV, and Airborne team to watch our shows, read our stories, follow our work, and participate with your suggestions, critique, and insight. Because the reason we've accomplished so much is that we do so for you, our brothers and sisters in flight, the most important people on or over Earth.
After these messages, an air show in the Everglades is a bad idea.
Concorde's recombinant gas RG series sealed battery technology produces a high-performance battery with the advantages of being pre-tested and fully charged at the factory. Find out more about Concorde's entire line of batteries at www.concordebattery.com. Concorde, the heart of your aircraft.
Now certified, Aspen Avionics single-band ADS-B, ATX100, and ATX100G transceivers are the next-gen ADS-B solution that provides the features pilots need while keeping flyaway costs low. Check it out now at aspenavionics.com.
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero.
Welcome back. With so much news coming out of the aviation industry, we're summarizing some other interesting stories in a brief segment we call Around the Patch. Miami-Dade County, Florida Mayor Carlos Jimenez has some grand plans to hold an air show at the never-finished but operational airport in the Big Cypress National Preserve, but those plans have since sunk, as if in quicksand in the swamp. Concorde Battery Corporation is again hosting aerobatic superstars throughout this year's EAA AirVenture Oshkosh. The company will hold daily meet-and-greet opportunities with aerobatic's biggest names and have a personalized poster signed for free at their AirVenture booth. The International Brotherhood of Teamsters, representing Republic Airways pilots, filed suit alleging the company unilaterally increased compensation for pilots and new hires in violation of the Railway Labor Act. Republic responded that the lawsuit is a negotiating ploy and without merit. In the 1970s, a Mitsubishi A6M30 Type O Model 22 airplane was found in the bush in Papua New Guinea. It was eventually acquired in 2008 by its current owner, Masahide Ishizuka, and restored to airworthiness condition. The global flight management system market is estimated to be $601.36 million in 2014 and will reach $912.2 million by 2020. This is according to new research published by Markets and Markets. The report says the demand for new aircraft deliveries will swell. Well, that's our trip around the patch. Now let's move on to the rest of the news. Airlines for America, known as A4A, has raised objections to the House plan that calls for diverting funds that airline passengers pay for TSA fees to pay for the Highway Trust Fund. As part of the offsets in the Highway and Transportation Funding Act, the House plan calls for using portions of revenue assumed to be collected from TSA fees in years 2024 and 2025 to offset government costs for a highway fix this year. A4A's Nicholas Caleo said in part, quote, "It is disingenuous at best to take funds that airline passengers are paying presumably for their safety and security and use them to pay for highways. This plan is a road to nowhere for passengers and eventually will lead to fee increases if the fees airlines and their customers already are paying today are diverted to other uses," end quote. Caleo noted that airline customers are already paying more than their fair share in taxes, as a $300 domestic one-stop round-way ticket can include more than $61 in taxes. Over the last week on Airborne Unlimited broadcasts, we've been talking about our program that's planned to run on Saturday, July 18th, called AirVenture Innovation Preview, that will highlight the innovative products that have the buzz factor this year. Now we are counting down the hours before the AirVenture Innovation Preview goes on air, but that's only the beginning of the excitement. The opening day of EAA AirVenture Oshkosh 2015 is now only 2 days away, and our ANN crew is ready to bring you the best AirVenture coverage ever. However, even though AirVenture appears to be at the top of our event list, don't forget we cover all aviation news in our daily reports on www.aero-news.net. It will be business as usual on aero-news.net, where you can expect the usual best coverage of all aspects of aviation and aerospace. At ANN, we've got you covered. Well, that's our program for today. Remember to get comprehensive, real-time, 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories anytime at aero-news.net. Remember that Airborne Unlimited is streamed daily Monday through Friday, with additional breaking news bulletins for important stories that fall outside of our normal deadlines. Over the next week, while we are at EAA AirVenture, we will be broadcasting our daily reports directly from the AirVenture grounds to provide you with updated news that we gather from this exciting event. Please join us and a growing roster of over 100 outstanding industry associations and organizations every weekday for the best in aviation and aerospace news from the staff of the Aero-News Network, the aviation world's most comprehensive news and information resource.